everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Acquire Knowledge with Anjali. So, our today's topic is the Indian subcontinent and history. Standard 6th SSC Board. What are the topics that we will learn in this lesson? First, geographical conditions and the course of history. Second, the geographical features of India, which will include various other subtopics. And last, the Indian subcontinent. So let's begin. Geographical conditions of India. History is a coherent account of the significant past events in the progress of human culture. Time, place, society, as well as individuals are the four main pillars of history, and we cannot write history without them. Of these four components, place is related to geography or geographical condition. History as well as geography are inseparable, and history is influenced by geographical conditions in many ways. Our diet, clothing, housing, and occupation, as well as all the human life in any region, depends to a large extent on its geographical characteristics. In hilly regions, people depend more on hunting and gathering for their food. We also find other such differences in the lifestyle of the people of the hilly regions and those of the plains. The climate, rainfall, agricultural produce, flora as well as fauna of the region where we live are the sources of our livelihood. The lifestyle and the culture of a region develops with their support, and human settlements have flourished wherever the means of living are plentiful. Over a period of time, these settlements develop further into villages as well as towns. But sometimes, reasons like the degradation of the environment, drought, invasions lead to the scarcity of those means. People are forced to leave their settlements. Villages and towns become deserted. We see so many such instances in history. Geographical conditions and the course of history. Our country, India, extends far and wide. At its north lies the Himalayas, to the east the Bay of Bengal, and to the west the Arabian Sea, and to the south the Indian Ocean. Except for the islands of Andaman and Nicobar as well as Lakshadweep, the rest of the country is contiguous. We have to take into account this region, henceforth referred to as ancient India, when we study the ancient history of India. Before 1947, today's Pakistan as well as Bangladesh were a part of India. The Himalayas. The Hindu Kush and the Himalaya ranges have created an impenetrable wall on the northern south of the Indian subcontinent, and this wall has separated the Indian subcontinent from the deserts of the Central Asia. However, there is a land route through the Khyber and the Bolan passes in the Hindu Kush mountains. The trade route from China passed through the Central Asia and reached Arabia. It is known as the Silk Route or the Silk Road because silk was the main commodity that was exported to the Western countries using this road. The route through these passes was used by many foreign invaders to enter the ancient India. Also, any foreign travelers also came to India by this route. The next, the plains of the Sindhu-Ganga-Brahmaputra. This region consists of the basins of the three big rivers, Sindhu, Ganga as well as Brahmaputra, and their tributaries. Also, this region extends from the Sindh Punjab in Arabian Sea to its west, the Indian Ocean to its south, and the Bay of Bengal to its east. A region thus bound by the sea on the three sides, is called a peninsula, and a major part of the Indian peninsula is occupied by the Deccan Plateau. The mountain ranges of the Vindhya as well as the Satpura are located to the north of the Deccan Plateau. The Sahyadri mountain ranges are to its west, and they are also known as the Western Ghats. After the decline of the Maurya Empire, there were several other kingdoms and smaller empires that continued to flourish in this region. So the next topic is the Thar Desert. The Thar Desert spreads across Rajasthan, Haryana, and some parts of Gujarat. A part of the desert lies in today's Pakistan. The desert has the Satluj River to its north, the Aravalli mountain range to its east, and the Rann of Kutch to its south, as well as the Indus, the Sindhu River to its west. The Ghaggar River that originates in Himachal Pradesh reaches the Thar Desert. It is also known as the Hakra in Pakistan. Its course in Rajasthan as well as Pakistan has dried up now. Many sites of the Harappan civilization are situated along the dry course of the river. The Deccan Plateau. The mountain ranges of the Vindhya and the Satpura are located to the north of the Deccan Plateau. The Sahyadri mountain ranges are to its west, and they are also known as the Western Ghats. To the west of the Sahyadris is the coastal region of the Konkan as well as Malabar. Also, the mountains on the eastern side of the Deccan Plateau are known as the Eastern Ghats. The Deccan Plateau has a fertile land where many post-Harappan agrarian cultures flourished, and it was a part of the Maurya Empire that was the largest in the ancient India. After the decline of the Maurya Empire, there were several other kingdoms and smaller empires that continued to flourish in this region. Next, we will talk about the coastal regions. From the time of the Harappan civilization, ancient India had trade relations with the western countries, and this trade was carried on by the sea. Therefore, India had developed contact and interaction with foreign cultures and people at the seaports. Later on, land routes came to be used for trade and transport, but the importance of the sea routes did not diminish. The islands in the sea. Andaman and Nicobar are the Indian islands in the Bay of Bengal. Lakshadweep is a group of Indian islands in the Arabian Sea, and the location of these islands may have been important in the ancient sea trade. Also, the manuscript Periplus of the Arthurian Sea or the Handbook of the Red Sea makes a mention of the Indian islands. It has been written by an unknown Greek sailor. The next topic is the Indian subcontinent. The cities of the Harappa as well as the Mohenjo-daro are in today's Pakistan. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and India together form the region known as the South Asia. Considering the expanse and the significance of India in this region, it is also known as the Indian subcontinent. The Harappan civilization had spread mainly in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. China as well as Myanmar, our neighboring countries, are not a part of the South Asia or the Indian subcontinent, and they had cultural as well as trade relations with ancient India. They have an important place in the study of the ancient history. So now, let's recap. We studied about the geographical conditions and the course of history. Then, we saw the geographical features of India, the Himalayas, the plains of the Sindhu-Ganga-Brahmaputra rivers, the Thar Desert, the Deccan Plateau, the coastal regions, and the islands in the seas. Last but not the least, we saw about the Indian subcontinent. Evaluation. We have studied many topics in this lesson. So, for the evaluation, we will use a very interesting way. I have a few questions that I've assigned on the Google Classroom. You can use the class code which I have provided on my screen, or you can use this link to do so. Thank you so much for watching this video.